De'Aaron, when Mike is fully getting through to you guys defensively, what is the message? You were saying, on some level, like just make the other team feel you. What is it that you guys really find that you're doing that when you guys have a good stretch defensively?
I think when we're having good stretches, I think we're in passing lanes. I think on pick and rolls we have high hands, just trying to make passes sail instead of it being a straight line pass or cutting off straight line drives. Low man's there. Like I think when all five guys are on a string, I think we look like a really good defensive team. And then there are just too many times and too many lapses where, like you said, there are backdoor cuts or they're getting downhill too easily, and someone has to rotate. Now it's an open three. So when we have all five guys on a string, I think we look really good defensively.
I just have to ask you this. What were you doing at the time you received the news that you were going to be an all-star for the first time, De'Aaron?
So this was before it came out. I was headed here, actually, to shoot before a shoot-around. And Vivek called. We had myself, my wife, and Mike on the line. And he was telling us a story about Cal talking to him. This is before I was drafted. And then Dave Yeager had me blindfolded in my workout here. And we were just doing dribbling stuff. And I took it off, and he was like, I just wanted to see what you could do. I just wanted to see how well you would do. And he was like, you did actually. I did a lot better than he thought. And like, he just told that story. And then he let me know that I was going to be an all-star. So it was probably like 9:30 this morning where they let me know.
Darren, there are several pros and cons of playing a team in a back-to-back. One of those pros being that you have a better idea of, I guess, what to prepare for and the adjustments that need to be made. What do you feel like are the biggest adjustments that you guys will need to make tomorrow?
For us, I mean, obviously Luka's a big part. We don't know if he's going to play or not. But like I said, I think we take a lot of what we did in the second half and only giving up 48 points, and we try to bring that into tomorrow. So it's being physical, trying to keep them off the line, and try to limit, their three-point shooting. So I think they hit 12 in the first half to 6 in the second half. So I think we were flying around. We were helping each other. We were talking. We were communicating. So that's pretty much I feel like what we need to bring into this game.
Keegan, you had a couple of rough games on the road there, but it seems like the last few you found your stroke again. Just how good does that feel? And I guess tonight you had 16 there in the third quarter, but didn't get another shot. Do you have to ask your teammates a little bit to get you the ball?
I mean, not necessarily. Just obviously going through the road trip, I just try to stay consistent. Eventually they'll fall. That's what happens when you're a shooter and get the reps that I do. So. And just going to the fourth, we have the best fourth quarter player in the league right now. So my job in the fourth, if I get an open shot, hit it. But just try and do everything else on the floor as best as I can. So I have complete faith in what Fox does in the fourth quarter, and I know Domas as well and everyone else. So I just try and do what I can in the fourth quarter. So.
Keegan, by and large, a lot of those second chance opportunities, did you see that they had? Was it just kind of the way the ball bounced for them, or did you see something wrong with the way you guys kind of responded to it?
There's just a point where we have to gang rebound. JaVale, he got a lot of second chance opportunities, I felt like, and he's a big guy, so you just have to put bodies on him and things like that. So just have to do better. I feel like we did a little bit better in the second half, and that gave them less second chance points. So just have to do it for a full game.
Keegan, Coach Brown has talked about avoiding letting off or relaxing in the final couple games before the All-Star break, this being your first time going through a stretch like this with that break so close. Do you feel that temptation or see that almost light at the end of the tunnel that's sometimes hard to avoid?
I don't really feel it. Just because it's my rookie year. I don't really know what to expect. during the season. So I know that especially these next two games, we just got to put 48 minutes together, and obviously then we'll have a break. So just put our best foot forward this next stretch, and however the tables fall is how they'll fall. So.
Keegan, from your standpoint, what were the issues you guys went through defensively in the first quarter?
I think it was just rebounding. I feel like every time they got a rebound, they kicked it out for three, and they're getting a lot of second chance opportunities and a lot of wide open threes from that. So I just think that's what kind of justified the game.
Dallas came out and hit us in the mouth to begin the game. I mean, we gave up 45 points in the first quarter. That's hard to recover from. And, we had a lot of guys that played well. Josh Green was a handful for us. JaVale was a handful for us. And the kid, Jaden Hardy, those guys were all a handful for us. But that first quarter was where the ball game was won, and they won it.
Yeah, in that first quarter, it seemed like a bunch of back cuts and then a bunch of wide open threes. Just what exactly happened there? Was it just defensive letdowns or game plan? What did you see?
Yeah, no, game plan. They kicked my behind. They kicked all the rest of the coaches behind and all the players behind. It was game plan, back cuts, couldn't keep the ball in front, didn't box out, gave up offensive rebounds, got beat in transition. You name it, it happened to us.
When you're playing a team back-to-back nights like you guys are with Dallas, how much can you take away from the second half as far as being better defensively versus, hey, they had a big lead and maybe we're sitting on it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really change the game plan in the second half. We just played a little harder and we're a little smarter. And we ended up getting some stops. And so we have to come out with that same mindset at the beginning of the game tomorrow night.
When you're looking at a lot of, I was just talking to those last two players about those second chance opportunities, do you see a way for you guys to respond better to those situations, or is that a lot of which when just the way the ball bounces for you guys?
No, I mean, we got to box out. We have a tendency just to turn and take a step towards the rim. And in this league, especially when you got big bodies, athletic bodies, quick bodies, you got to go find somebody. You got to go meet somebody and make contact. And we're not big enough to just turn and take a step towards the rim and think we're going to rebound. So that hurt us. And then there were a lot of 50-50 balls where we had two or three guys sprinting out in transition before we came up with the basketball. So that hurt us as well. We got to do better for sure in that area come tomorrow.
Coach, there's been times this year you've talked about searching rotationally, and it looked like there was a point tonight where that happened. TD went out, and then you ended up going with Keon.
Yep.
When you are searching, what are you looking for?
A little consistency, especially on the defense end of the floor. If we didn't shoot the ball well, we still scored 114 points. Our offense was not good at all. We still scored 114 points. So I'm looking for somebody that can stay in front of the basketball and not have too many mental breakdowns defensively more than anything else.
Coach, you one of the greatest stories in the league. You guys have earned that. But defensively, where is this team at? Can they use improvement, or are they where you want them to be?
Definitely not where we need to be or where I want them to be. We're not good defensively, and we're not good because we don't know how to be consistent. We don't know how to give the same focus and effort or be consistent over a certain amount of time. We have flashes of it, and that's what gives me as a coach hope, because there's flashes of it. But until we figure out how we're going to be consistent with what our assignments are and our ability to guard and be early and be physical without fouling and continue to give multiple effort and communicate and all those little things, until we're consistent with those things, we're going to struggle defensively.
Mike, do you have any indication about Malik's injury, and is he going to have an MRI or any testing coming up?
Yeah, he's going through testing, I think, right now, but I don't have any info on him. Yeah.
Sorry, Donna, made a quick question. Shoot. Apologies, Mike.
No, it's all good. You go.
Oh, okay, I remember. Back-to-back games against the same team. It's a handful of times we've seen this season, more than in past seasons. Is there any kind of advantage to facing the team the very next night when you have a loss like this or a situation like this to kind of use as a benchmark?
I don't know if there's an advantage. If you lose, hopefully you're a little bit more desperate, and you realize some of the mistakes that you made are self-inflicted, and hopefully that desperation and understanding the little things matter going into game two may help you out. But I don't really look at it as that's going to get us over the hump tomorrow. I mean, we got to go do what we're supposed to do tonight and win a ball game tomorrow.
Mike, I know it's, for coaches, it's always a little bit of a challenge of when to really push guys the way that with a racehorse you would really kind of crack the whip a little bit. But are there things that you say to kind of put your foot down to try to get better effort, better focus out of guys? Some coaches try to challenge their guys to string together a certain number of stops in a row. It seemed like tonight there were a couple 24-second violations that you guys forced. Was there anything you said, or was it just kind of that they, collectively realized they had to give better effort, more focus?
No, I mean, you don't. I don't think you can coach any team in any sport a certain way. Like, I think if I ranted and yelled and broke a clipboard every time that we didn't do what I felt we were supposed to do, I probably wouldn't be here long, and that is because they either get tired of me, or my blood pressure would be so high that something health-wise would happen to me. So you pick and choose your spots when to do that. But these guys are grown; they know exactly what they're supposed to do, especially defensively, and they took it upon themselves to go out and get stops in the second half. And you could see the results when that does happen. We were pretty good in a handful of stretches in that second half. Thank you, guys.